we come back, my interview with the Consul General of France in Wuhan. How has the coronavirus impacted his life and role in the city? All suspected coronavirus cases in the city of Wuhan will have to be tested by Tuesday, according to authorities. Now, China's efforts to contain the virus have attracted attention from around the world, although cases of xenophobia and anti-China sentiment have also emerged in some Western media stories. Gestures of support and solidarity are also surfacing. For example, French companies in China have expressed confidence in China's ability to overcome the epidemic, with many French nationals in Wuhan choosing to stay and support their Chinese counterparts. Now, what's everyday life like now for French nationals in Wuhan? What support are they getting and what challenges are they facing? Earlier, I talked to Mr. Olivier Guyonvarch, Consul General of France in Wuhan. Mr. Guyonvarch, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. First of all, I would like to ask you what kind of service you have provided to the French nationals or possibly other European nationals in Wuhan, and are you able to carry out your diplomatic service in an effective manner still?
Okay, thank you very much for your interview. I'm still in Wuhan. So first of all, at the beginning of the epidemic, we provide some information to the French citizens remaining in Wuhan in terms of measure of precautions, wear mask, wash your hands frequently, and so on. And then once the situation has been a little bit more serious, the French citizens requested to go back to France, especially once the flights were cancelled from Wuhan and no one could get out of Wuhan. So we decided to take this measure and to repatriate the French people who wanted. Some French decided to stay in Wuhan, and we provide this as a service to the French citizens, and also in a way to give less a burden to the Chinese authority of Wuhan, so that they do not have to care about the French citizens here in Wuhan.
At this moment, how many French nationals, how many foreign or European nationals, to your knowledge, are still in the city, and what kind of service do they have access to, I mean consular service?
We have some very few French now, something like 15 to 20 French in Wuhan, and we are recensing everyone. We are asking everyone to register to the consulate for us to be able to follow them. So we keep providing information, and we would look after their health situation. We still have a French doctor here in Wuhan who can provide services, who can provide information, consults, and so on. And it's for them, it's psychologically it's very important to know that we, the French consulate, are the only consulate still open in Wuhan. Other consulates have closed their door, so we are still here. If they need some help, we are here for them, and we are here also to show the solidarity of France with Wuhan and with our Chinese friends.
So do you mean that you plan to stay in Wuhan until the situation gets better?
Yes, definitively. Out of 38 employees in the consulate, we have some 30 to 40 employees, French, local French and local Chinese staff. We remain the four of us, and we stay here to maintain the presence of friends here in Wuhan. We believe that when our friends are facing difficulties, we have to be alongside.
Do you have enough? Yes,
we do not escape.
Thank you so much for doing that, I have to say. But do you have enough support or access to what you need, for instance, enough information, quick and transparent information? Do you have all kinds of materials that you might need, including protective gears, or do you have other materials that you need at this moment, because the whole city, the whole province basically are kind of being overwhelmed?
I mean, the ones who really need material and protection are Chinese doctors here. But for us, we have enough masks, we have food, and some shops are still open in Wuhan, so it's not so difficult to get food and water and so on in Wuhan. So I would say that we have anything we need as long as we have WeChat, we have internet and so on to keep in touch with our French citizens.
How do you
and with the French government and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because we report every day the situation and so on.
Yes. How do you communicate with the French nationals being in other parts of China? I understand many French companies have expressed confidence to stay in China. For instance, Christopher Loha, president of the French Chamber of Commerce and Industry in China, has said that he believes that the situation has been brought under control, and he has stated that he will remain in China. Do you share any of such sentiment? Do you see any signs of optimism from the development of the situation, from the numbers, for instance, what we have seen in Wuhan and Hubei?
So far, I think that the situation is different in Wuhan and Hubei and the other provinces in China, because the whole province of Hubei is closed, so you cannot easily get in Hubei, and it's even more difficult to get out of Hubei. So for companies, it's impossible for them to work and to produce and to export. And we still don't have a date for the return to the normal situation. So many companies stay closed, employees stay at home or stay where they are by measure of security and protection. So very few French stayed here to be alongside with their employee and to look out the factory, to look out the company once the operation are stopped. And they are very, I think it's a very good decision for them, because they stay with the staff. But here in Wuhan, the economy is turning very slowly, and only very essential services are still running. But it's a matter of precaution, because people really stay home, and there are very strict direction by the authorities for people to stay home. And the best place to be, the safest place to be, is to stay home. So that's the reason why the companies still did not reopen.
Yeah. How do you look at these measures issued by the Chinese government, including the local government and the central government, some very strict measures? Some people are talking about overreaction, but I guess they do not want to take any risk that the virus spread further or more quickly to other parts of the country, but it's killing the economy, at least temporarily. How do you look at the impact so far, and are you concerned about the short-term perspective of the Chinese economy?
I'm not a specialist of economy, but those measures are very strong. And here we are not, for those measures, we're not talking about economy, we're talking about people's health and people's life and death. So in this kind of situation, there is no overreaction, I think. The economy, for sure, the economy is going to be hit very strongly, but here we are it's a matter of life or death. So the government has to take very strong measures.
What do you think are some of the challenges that China has been able to overcome, but are still faced with on different levels in handling this crisis so far?
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to comment on Chinese decision, because this is local and domestic decision on which I have I cannot comment.
Okay, it's fine.
But for me, what I could say, for instance, I will say something else. Personally, I feel very sad for Wuhan, because during the last 5 years, Wuhan has done so much for modernization, internationalization. We had the military games in October, which was fantastic and wonderful. All the Wuhanis were hands up with that. For us, for the French consulate, we always organize a lot of cultural events, music, and so on. And it was we are very happy to work with the local communities and with Wuhan people and so on. So I feel very sad for what is happening to Wuhan now. But I'm sure that Wuhan will recover, because Wuhan people are strong people, They are optimistic. They are very hardworking. So it might take a little bit of time, but I hope and I want Wuhan to recover because I love this city, I love these people, and I want to stay along with this city and with these people now in Wuhan in the most difficult time of history.
That was Mr. Olivier Guyonvarch, Consul General of France in Wuhan. And that's all for this edition of The Point with me, Lucien. As always, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter using the handle The Point with LX. Download the application called CGTN to watch the show on your mobile devices, or go to YouTube and look for CGTN The Point. Thanks for watching. You've got The Point.